Could Postmates be used as a dating app? The only reason I'm bringing this up is recently I was in the marina about, 2 months ago, and I was talking to this other carrier. And this other carrier, she was like, maybe she was in her 40s or 50s. She was older. She was really friendly, really outgoing, and she was spilling her beans. She was telling me how she got tips. And she said that she would typically stay in the marina or try her hardest to stay in the marina. And whenever she would go to a restaurant and pick up anything, she would always call the customer just in case they wanted something, or she would just call the customer to see if they wanted something. And that's actually a really smart idea, just to call the customer. Because let's say that they really do want something and you call them and they don't have to call you. The customer may really like that, and the customer could give you a nice tip, you know? She's telling me all this, and then she started to talk about how it's really hard to compete with young girls, okay? And I was thinking, what are you talking about? And she was saying how whenever she would do Postmates, she felt that young girls got way better tips. And, you know, this is something that I really can't agree with. Like, I'm not a girl and I'm not young either, but I just started to think about it. Like, that could very well be true. It could very well be true, because you have a lot of guys in this city who work in tech, alright, and they probably don't have girlfriends. And if you just order food from Postmates and there's some really cute girl bringing you your food, you might tip her, or you might even try to talk to her, you know? So that was that night. I was talking to, that lady in the marina. She's telling me about her experience. And then I want to say like a week later, I was on another Postmates job, and I'm standing in line at this restaurant. And this is the type of restaurant where it's like a really popular Postmates pickup spot. So there were maybe 3 or 4 carriers already in line. And this girl walks in, and it's like, she was like a white girl, and she was hot, dude, drop dead hot. And when she walked in, she walked in and automatically stood in line in the carrier's line, as if she, knew what she was doing. And she was on her phone, just like the carriers always are whenever we walk into restaurants. I'll explain that. So usually when you go to a restaurant, people go with 2 or 3 people, or I go with my girlfriend or something. So the hostess knows that, yeah, these people are probably dining. But usually when carriers go to restaurants, they're by themselves, and they usually have a phone out because they're getting the order number ready, or they're just figuring out what they're there for. So the hostess, whenever the hostess sees you walk in and you're like this, they automatically think that, oh yeah, he's probably a carrier, because the hostess probably has food waiting for you, So when this girl walks in, she just had that whole carrier attitude. But I'm thinking dude, carriers they're not usually this hot, This girl looks like she just walked out of Nordstrom's or something, the makeup department. She was just looking good. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go talk to her, just to figure out what she up to. So I just walked up to her and I was like, yo, you do Postmates? And she's like, yeah, I do Postmates. And right when she said yeah, she was hella down to earth. And I was thinking, this girl's pretty different, for a carrier. She was like, yeah, the tips are really good. That's the first thing she said, was the tips are really good. And the first thing I thought of, yeah, I bet the tips are good. I bet the guys love you, and that's why you're getting that tips. And she went on to say, I don't usually work that much. I work maybe 2 or 3 days a week. And I don't know. That conversation ended. I didn't get her phone number or anything. Come on, I got a girlfriend. But I just wanted to get more information, just because, information's the key. And I walk away and I'm like, dude, that sucks. Girls probably make more money doing this job than dudes. Just because, especially if you're a decent looking girl, or if you're a hot looking girl. There are a few girl bikers that I see riding around the city, and they're pretty hot girls, dude. If any of them came to my door, I would just be like, whoa, you're hot. I mean, just like seeing them bike around the city and like, I mean, you should see some of these girls' legs are like this big and it's like all muscle, like there's no fat, and I'm like, buddy, that's hot, that's sexy. If you ask me, like, you know, a girl that can like ride a bike around the city like all day, like that's like hot. But this other chick was not like that at all. She was like the girliest, friendliest girl, and she's like, yo, I'm gonna do Postmates and I'm gonna give me some tips. So I'm just thinking about this, like, could Postmates be used as a dating app? Because when I really think about it, I have definitely been hit on a few times delivering Postmates orders. Like, if you're a Postmates customer out there and you're watching this video, that's probably not the best time to hit on a carrier, you know, when they're delivering your food to your door, because maybe they're like blocking someone's driveway with their car or something. Because that's why, I mean, once I was hit on by a customer and she was just like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I was like, oh, I'm going great, just delivering food. And I was, you know, I'm talking to her as I'm trying to get her food out of the backpack and unzip it and take it off me and all that. She's like, oh, I'm just having a glass of wine all alone on Sunday afternoon. And I'm like, oh, that sounds nice, that sounds nice. And she was like, I wish I had someone to hang out with. And I was like, oh, me too. You know, I just said it like that, but I'm like rushing. I'm thinking about my car, how it's like blocking someone's driveway, and there's a parking maid down the street, and there's probably a tow truck like 3 blocks away. I'm freaking out trying to get to my car, and there's like this woman like hitting on me here, you know? I didn't even really think anything of it. That day, I didn't even think that that woman was hitting on me. I didn't even think about this until like months later. Like, Jermaine, that woman was hitting on you. Like, she wanted to hang out with you. I'm also not the like most attractive guy in the world either. Totally been hit on by dudes at the same time, you know? Like, dudes are like, hey, you wanna come hang out? And I'm like, no, I can't really hang out right now. I gotta go pick up the next delivery. You know, so I don't know, could this be used as a dating app? Like, it could be very intimate. Like, you are literally delivering something to someone's door. They can answer the door with like, you know, a shirt on. They can answer the door in their underwear. They can answer the door in a robe. They can answer the door in a robe and flash you. Like, come on. Like, who knows? They could, I mean, if you're a hot chick, maybe someone could come to the door and be like, yo, you wanna hang out? Just hang out with me for 30 minutes. I'll give you $100. Think about it. If you're an attractive girl, if you're 20 years old and you're delivering someone's food and they say, hey, hang out with me for 20 minutes, I'll give you $100. I mean, come on, what would you do? Like, shit, somebody said that to me, I'd probably take it too. Like, what would you do if someone offered me $100 to hang out with them for 20 minutes? Like, I would probably want to do it too. Like, I don't know. But I mean, I guess I can say this because this is a totally different video and this has nothing to do with Postmates. Like, I've actually had customers in the past that have literally given me an inappropriate. I have literally had customers in the past, not from this platform, from other platforms, that have given me like inappropriate things. And I'm not gonna talk about those inappropriate things, but just use your imagination. But I've literally, I decided not to cut this part out of the video. No, I'm not gonna talk about those inappropriate things. No, not here on camera. I mean, but just use your imagination. But if it happened to me, I'm pretty sure it would probably happen a whole lot more to a girl that's attractive. Alright? Just hands down. And who knows? Attractive girls might even get hit on by other girls too, you know? So I don't know. If you guys want to sign up for Postmates, my link is below. Believe it or not, I'm actually not trying to make money off of the Postmates links, because for me to make money off of the Postmates links, I believe you have to complete like 200 deliveries in a month. And if you're not in New York or San Francisco, that is very unlikely. Even if you are in New York or in San Francisco, that's still very unlikely because most people quit after like 5 deliveries or 10 deliveries or whatever. But anyway, just throwing that out there, like, is Postmates a dating app? Could it be used as a dating app? Is it not a dating app? Give me some feedback, like, let me know. Like, if you have worked for Postmates before and you have had people hitting on you, or if you work for Postmates before and you have had like, you know, people trying to slip you cash to come into their house, like, let me know if you work for Postmates and you have had like fat tips like back to back to back because you wore something like really sexy that night. Let me know, because maybe it's true. Maybe this could be a dating app, or maybe it's being used as a dating app to some people. But anyway, gotta keep this video short. Peace.